Hey everyone, Jeff here from Films at Home, and today we got to take a look at one of my favorite movie characters of all time in 4K. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel today for this review. Today we're diving into John Wick in John Wick Chapter 4 on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. I'll be talking about the movie itself. I'll also be breaking down the video specs here. We'll talk audio, packaging, special features, give you the full rundown, and let you guys know whether or not this one's worth picking up for your collection. So quickly on the movie itself, I have to give huge credit to the team behind the John Wick series, because not very often do we get a fourth entry into a franchise that still has the same quality that the first, second, and third have had, and it's quality across the board on all four of these movies. John Wick Chapter 4 is probably my favorite, maybe since the first. I really enjoyed it. It has a very long runtime. You're pushing 3 hours here, just under 3 hours, 169 minutes, but it really flies by. It doesn't feel like a 3-hour movie, and I often have a hard time finding 3 hours to sit down and watch movies with kids and everything. That's a big commitment. That's like a weekend thing, or that's you got to give your whole night up for it. But this one just flew by and it was so much fun. But think about other franchises. Like by the time Jaws got to Jaws the Revenge, Jaws 4, it was trash. By the time Jurassic Park got to Jurassic Park 3, they had to start over and do Jurassic World. It was garbage. Superman 4 is garbage. There's lots of movies out there that after the first couple of entries just completely fall apart. And these franchises don't often live with the same character. Even look at Taken, which is a very close comparison to John Wick. Taken 1, 2, and 3. The first Taken's great. Taken 2 is okay. Taken 3, it's like, okay, we jumped the shark. John Wick Chapter 4 is just such a high quality movie, and it's the people working on it. It's the team behind it. It's the cinematographer, the director, the casting crew. It's just a quality story, and they've built a really cool universe here around the Continental, which will lead to John Wick Chapter 5, has the Continental TV series, and has tons of potential for other characters like the Ballerina series or movie I think that they're working on right now. So this universe is just incredible, and to think it all came from that little movie in like 2016, I think John Wick came out, that not a lot of people knew. It's just awesome. So here on the visuals, we get a true 4K digital intermediate. This is a digitally shot movie, and it looks near perfect on 4K Blu-ray. I can't imagine this looking much better. Now, the 1080p Blu-ray also looks fantastic. So no matter which format you pick this up in, you're gonna have a great experience, but given that it's a true 4K source, that 4K resolution and a real 4K disc instead of upscaling it on your TV from 1080p, that's going to be the best experience. It's going to give you the highest level of detail, the highest level of quality. It's going to be truest to what the filmmakers actually wanted with their 4K digital intermediate. And on top of that, of course, we always pack HDR, and this has Dolby Vision HDR, which isn't a huge difference. This is one thing I see with like newer movies, is the HDR doesn't dramatically change because they kind of color grade it the way they like it, and it's not like we're going back and like fixing old movies that maybe had poor color grades. But it definitely does add some more depth. It's not an insane change in color. It's not like there's insanely better black levels. It looks really good on 1080p and really good on 4K. But the HDR does help with some of the highlights, especially when you get into the Continental and Osaka, and some of the more high-powered action scenes I think look better with HDR than without. It's kind of a hard head-to-head comparison, but there were some instances. Basically what I'm saying is no matter what format you buy this on, you're gonna have a great experience. But if you want that elevated top level experience, 4K DI, 4K disc, HDR, Dolby Vision, that's gonna give it to you. And I just thought it was an unbelievable picture quality. Same with John Wick Chapter 2, Chapter 3. These movies are just visually stunning, and they have incredible cinematography and a really experienced team behind them that shoots some of my favorite scenes of any movie in the last decade have come out of the John Wick series, and that's no exception here. Chapter 4 has some absolutely incredible visual moments, and they are a treat to watch on 4K Blu-ray. Now for the audio, this is equally as impressive as the visuals, and that's awesome because we always want the best experience. We're getting Dolby Atmos, and it's a powerhouse track. I mean, it slams your home theater from literally the opening scene until the end credits. This thing is pumping. Now, of course, John Wick, if you know any of these movies, if you've seen the others, there's a lot of stuff moving around the screen, and I thought that's where Atmos was really impressive. There's a lot of movement across your home theater, and the Atmos track here captures it pretty well. It also has some excellent deep low-end bass, not only just from your subwoofer, but I noticed like just the speakers themselves too, and there was a lot of real good low-end sound, and of course the subwoofer drives most of that, but it was a really balanced track. It could get really high, it could get really, really low, very bass heavy, but it also just had so many incredible sound elements that this was a really, really good Atmos. This is probably going to make a top 10 list or top 5 Atmos tracks for the year because it's just super, super dynamic. The music, as always, is incredible, and it's just so non-stop that like you better have all your speakers wired in and, you know, plugged in tight, because this thing is going to give them a 3-hour workout of just slamming every speaker in your system. Your subwoofers are going to be slamming. It's just awesome, and it's so well balanced. There was no need for volume control. There was no need to like adjust for dialogue. It's a really near perfect Atmos track, a near perfect 4K visual, a near perfect disc. Really, this is a really, really solid transfer from Lionsgate, and of course you can't have a solid transfer without a great source, and the way that this movie was shot and captured and sound mixed on the source level was just so great as well. So huge props to everybody involved. It's an AV treat to watch John Wick Chapter 4 on a home theater. Now for packaging, I've just got the slipcover version. I like slipcovers probably above all other types of packaging, but this release has tons of options. There's like multiple steelbooks, there's exclusive slipcovers, there's premium steelbooks, there's all sorts of stuff. So I'll pop some of them up here on the screen for you. Take a look. There's different retailer exclusives, like an Amazon one, there's a Walmart, there's a Best Buy, I think there's an Nova Media, I think is the premium one. There's so many to choose from that like no matter what type of packaging you like, you're gonna have one to pick from here for John Wick Chapter 4, which is really cool. And they obviously know who this movie is marketed to. Like this is a franchise that literally, you know, is on Chapter 4 because that first movie, John Wick, really gained a cult following on home video and on Blu-ray and on streaming services. Like it wasn't a huge theatrical hit, it was decent, but it really gained a cult following, and they've got this crazy following now. They know collectors want the best John Wick versions out there, plus it's Lionsgate, so they get it. They've been doing great packaging, so tons of options. I do like the slipcover with this artwork, don't mind it at all, but of course many different options out there. On the inside of this, you get the standard slipcover artwork, and then you've got a couple of discs with the JW John Wick on there, which I thought was pretty cool, and kind of the neon light. Also does come with the digital code, of course, that redeems in 4K. Now for special features, there's just over an hour of features if you include the theatrical trailers and a trailer for the upcoming Continental series. But there's a ton of stuff on here, from how they shot some of these scenes. I don't want to spoil anything, but some of the scenes in here, especially one that basically, I don't know, it kind of feels like a video game. It's like anything I've really seen in a movie in a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen anything, but there's multiple really interesting, unique and in-depth creative sequences in this movie. And luckily, even though the special features for each are like 5 to 10 minutes long, they do break those down. So there's features on those. There's features on like different characters in here. Donnie Yen has his own feature in here as well. There's one called One Killer Shot, which is part of that. Talks about the great cinematography and the great setup for some of these scenes. Train Like a Killer, Making a Killing. There's all these different short 5 to 10 minute segments. There's about 10 of them in total, 10 or 11, and then you get the theatrical trailers as well as that Continental preview. So pretty decent. You know, it's maybe not the longest amount of special features at an hour, but there's a lot of stuff on here, and each of them is well worth it. So I really like the variety of what's available. And those are available both on the 4K and the Blu-ray discs. So luckily in this case, you don't have to switch discs to get special features, which can sometimes be annoying. So overall, Lionsgate has really hit it out of the park with this release and this franchise. I love John Wick. I want more John Wick. I want more mythology of the Continental and the whole Hitman Society and everything that's going on there. I want more on these side characters who are super interesting. They could explore origin stories. I mean, there's so much here that they could do that I expect John Wick content to be coming out for decades to come, and I'll support anything Keanu Reeves does because I think he's just one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, one of the most down-to-earth guys in Hollywood, one of the coolest guys in Hollywood, who's been in some of the most incredible movies but never let it get to his head, never went crazy. He's just a humble dude, and so I love that he has had this success because this character is awesome, the series is awesome, and Lionsgate has put out an incredible 4K experience here, both visuals and audio. So thanks for watching this review. If you do want to pick up John Wick Chapter 4 on 4K, you can find the link down in the description and in the pinned comment of this video. That links out to Amazon, which helps support me and the channel, so I appreciate that. Of course, make sure you subscribe here so you get the latest on Blu-ray, 4K, physical media collecting, all that fun stuff, and like this video so others will see it. And if you're enjoying the content, come find me on social media as well. I've got content over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all over the place on Facebook. I mean, I'm everywhere. So come find me over there. I'm on Letterboxd too now. Find me on all those platforms. Come say hi. Appreciate all the support. And make sure you check out all the links to our partners and discount codes in the description. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Definitely check this one out if you haven't yet and buy it on 4K. And I will talk to you all soon.